RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Oh, you can.
Yo, what it do? It's LB, Ronald Boss, aka Shutterworth the God, the GOAT artist, flow artist. RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's get it.
Hey, Bodega P, and he's not in the sewer tonight. You know, he's above ground, taking a break from the usual crime fighting. You know, of all these derelicts out there in the streets and whatnot, and women with no class. Hood boogers, as you know, some people like to call them. I don't. So, you know.
I do. I love calling them hood boogers.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you heard it from P, you know. But as always, though, you know, we salute you for your, keeping our city streets safe, you know, and we, salute you for your service and everything, you know. So yeah, you know, we have a couple things we're gonna talk about tonight. First will be the Showtime card recap from last weekend, you know, which saw David Benavidez, come back from whatever he's come back from, blowing weight, losing his
candy. He came back from all that candy.
And it could be candy, it could be various things with him. It could be food candy or nose candy. You know, it's one. You know, it's some candy. Obviously.
No, but hold on. He was young back then. Like, you gotta give cats a chance to, evolve, improve.
Yeah, no, but if he loses another fucking belt on the scales or some fuckery again, then, nah. Yeah, he 3 strikes and you're out.
Wait, has anybody lost the belt on the scales 3 times in a row? Like, not.
That would be. I don't think. I mean, we've had twice. I mean, twice, yes. But 3 times, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure Tank is a repeat offender, but I don't remember anybody else.
Tank, maybe Broner.
Broner's lost 2 belts on the scales.
Okay, I was there.
Yeah, Tank.
Like little bro, big bro with that shit.
Yeah. Tank has only lost 1 belt on the scale, which is his only real legit belt at that. That he's won. Go fig. But yeah, hopefully Benavidez obviously doesn't try to complete this hat trick or the cipher with this, and he stays on the straight and narrow. Before we get into the files, we'll just briefly go through the undercard. It's always for PBC card. Obviously, if you see Terrell Gashaw on the card, most of us will just let out a groan or P will out his signature, his signature yawn. Yeah, that's the one. That's the stuff right there.
Actually, I'm sleepy now.
But like Terrell Shaw, I know he means well though, but he sucks the life out of a lot of fights and main events. Although his fight prior to this one with Lubin had some excitement and for all the wrong reasons.
This is at the end.
Yeah, at the end, yeah. And
I want people to be like, "Oh shit!" I go back and watch.
Yeah, no. It wasn't no unexpected. It wasn't no unexpected. Bradley Provodnikov type shit. Which is
about the third round. They're like, "What the hell were they was talking about?"
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah, no. But I guess that was more just the fact that he did shake up Lubin like seriously enough that okay, we'll put him on the opener again. And he fought Jamonte Clark, and. He put him away early, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm thinking to myself, I'm already settled in. I was like, "Man, this dude's gonna take a whole hot minute to get rid of this guy." But Kashaw landed his right hand, and Kashaw, when he punches, and he puts something behind it, he rocks people. In this case, Jamonte Clark, he went down.
Goose Lee has power. Like anybody he hits right, he buzzes them. But it's just his temperament is what always fucks it up because. He's not a guy who's going to fight to set up his power. He's not going to get aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
he was the underdog in this fight, so it was crazy.
Yeah, it was, you know. And
then you're not thinking he's gonna knock him out either.
yeah,
But then that's probably the best way he would pull the upset. So go figure.
yeah. I mean, like
The one time I was expecting a yawn, I was fully expecting a yawn fest. He pulls this out the hat.
yeah, you know, and you know, Clark went down. The referee looked at him and was like, "Nah, bro, like you kind of done for the night," which was surprising because Jamarte Clark has not been knocked out. I mean, he's been knocked down, but he's never been knocked out. Like Rosario put him through the ropes, and he fought Fundora and probably should have beaten Fundora legitimately, but you know, he got that. But so for Gashar to one punch knock him out like that was, you know, impressive.
This is a good win.
It's a good win. Like, and you know, with 154, you need every fight, you know, and every win to separate.
Every fight counts because now he's in the mix again. Like honestly, like
yeah,
he's a fight away from another title shot. Really,
he is. You know, it's one more good win.
Yeah.
And then there was the co-main.
Got enough names in there where you could really say, okay, who do I want to go after, and maybe I get a shot after this.
Exactly. I mean, PBC holds all 4 154 belts. You know, obviously until you know they sort out whoever is mandatory is next or whatnot. You know, somebody's up for grabs. You know, and then you know we had the co-main event, and honestly, the less said about this fucking fight, the better. You know, this fight.
You say nothing about it at all because I didn't see that bitch.
Yeah. All I know is that this was a fight that I was expecting to be better. It's to be better than the Clark Gashar fight, and it was not. It was 12 rounds, and it was dirty, but not in the good way. With Isaac Cruz and Jose Matias Romero, like it was a struggle. 12 rounds, and you know it was dirty. It was a lot of holding, a lot of dancing around the ring, it was a lot of bullshit. You know, like so. If you saw a ratings dip, that was because of this. It was different. And Isaac Cruz actually been knocking people out, so that was unexpected. Like why this fight was not where it needs to be. But yeah, let's just hope whoever Isaac Cruz faces next, you know, decides he actually wants to fight rather than spoil. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, they looked at the records. See, I knew that fight was gonna go the distance. They looked at the records. Like, I think he was gonna knock out this guy. When I heard it went the distance, it was an ugly fight. I was just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not worth a rewatch, but it's just worth mentioning. But at least Isaac Cruz, you know, he won. You know, he kept his momentum going, and you know, Jose Matias Romero. Hopefully, I don't ever really see you fight again because you came to spoil, bruh, not to win.
So, yeah, he ain't had like a lot of knockouts or anything.
No, not at all. It was just had the 0, and you got it took. So, you know, time to go back to the drawing board. So now let's get to the main event. We get David Benavidez and Ronald Ellis, and Benavidez, at least for once, you know, in the pre-fight vignettes and whatnot, dude actually made weight way before he actually got on the scale. But you know, there were people on Twitter still calling him like skinny fat and whatnot. And honestly, dude, I mean, dude will never be like jacked or anything. Like I don't think
he did. He does have that Mikey Garcia type body, that skinny fat.
Yeah, though.
He look like he's more naturally slimmer than Mikey Garcia.
Because he's
more stocky.
Yeah, I think maybe because he's also pretty. He's 6 feet. Yeah, he's tall. Yeah. So
that going for him.
Yeah, and one thing with Benavidez, I mean, obviously, if you know the story, I mean, dude was an obese child that took up boxing to lose weight, and you know, he got nice at it. You know, I mean, dude was legitimately obese. So one of the byproducts with him is, you know, he has heavyweight pop, and he kept that pop as he went down the scales. So, like, pretty much one of the big things during this fight was when dude was punching Ellis, you can hear it. You can hear the fades that he was landing on Ellis. But Ellis, to his credit, though, he made it a fight. Like, he didn't, like, wilt. Like, you know, a lot of people would, too. Like,
he was in there tough, I think, for the first 4 rounds. But, like, I wouldn't say Benavidez started dominating him until it got to around like maybe the 7th round or the 6th or 7th round, where it was like, okay, like Benavidez finally took over.
He did. And before we go any further, I see Conscious Pilot has joined our conversation. How you doing, bro?
Good. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, much better.
Much better.
Cool.
Oh man, so yeah, Pilot obviously. I haven't worked on the intro for you yet, but I will, in order to introduce you in.
All good.
Yeah, but you came just in time as we're talking about Benavidez versus Ronald Ellis. So share some thoughts, bro. What did you think of that fight?
It's what you'd expect. I mean, I was hearing him say earlier he'd give himself a B+, and I would probably assess the same. Wasn't a mind-blowing performance. He didn't mention, and I also noticed his defense was. He could have worked on his defense a little bit, which clearly Ellis was giving him a little bit of work. But it kind of, went the way I expected it. Essentially, I mean,
Benavidez is. Yeah, I mean, if there's one big flaw that dude has, is his defense.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, why did it take until the Ellis fight to realize he needs to work on his defense? His defense has been sus for a while.
Yeah, and he's tough too. I mean, obviously the only fight that that he almost the script almost lost was the first Ronald Gavro fight, where personally I thought he lost that fight, and he got knocked down at that too, cleanly. So I mean, I thought he lost that fight because Gavro was hitting his ass. But he redeemed himself in the rematch, and I can't front he righted his wrong though. But yeah, dude does get hit, and doesn't give two shits when he does.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, no, but but after a while, Ronald Ellis, you can tell, he was too tough for his own good, because at the point, Benavidez was starting to land fades on him, audible fades, the corner is should we pull him out of the corner? If she pull him out of the fight? Ronald Ellis was tough. He didn't go down from any of this shit. Not one bit. And he was getting hands put on him. And that's the one thing about Benavidez though. His work rate will increase. If you let it, if you're not giving him anything to think about, dude will just keep throwing fades upon fades upon fades. And his offensive arsenal is it's impressive. It's the biggest thing. And he started landing them fast ass combinations too. Once he starts, dude will start rounding off although I know LB's not a big fan of niggas that be just throwing speed for nothing. Although person even when he throws speed, his hands are still heavy as fuck.
Yeah, Benavidez is not one of those guys. That's Turbo Fist.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
But it was getting to the point where it's
Benavidez throws meaningful punches. He's quick. I think he's a quick, heavy-handed guy. You don't see those.
He throws meaningful punches. His problem is he always looks like he's shadowboxing in quicksand.
Yeah.
he squares up and he is hittable, but I don't think a lot of guys they approaching him wrong.
Bro, his footwork is terrible.
And honestly, in this fight, it seemed like his footwork improved a little bit. He really be in molasses all them other times. It looks better than Ryan Garcia footwork.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, but this seemed it wasn't
still need more work.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like he had any trouble actually trying to cut off the ring on Ellis, because he still managed to get through on the ropes and land what he needed to land. So it wasn't his footwork was a hindrance to him. He still was landing them fades.
Yeah, because Ellis didn't know how to escape properly.
Mm-hmm.
He was going into the corners and shit. That pressure, man. Because the thing is, Benavidez, for all the flaws and mistakes he made, he has a lot of things in his style and his stature that just cancels him out. First of all, he's imposing as fuck.
Very much so. Yeah.
He's like one of them damn tree giants from the fucking Lord of the Rings coming after you. So you got this big tall motherfucker standing there in front of you, marching you down. The thing what threw you off is he makes you think you could get away because his footwork is so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And since he's not really cutting off the ring, you think like you could get away, but the thing is, it's the pressure, it's the size, the reach, and then if you're not one of these guys who know how to turn correctly and not put yourself in the corner, he's gonna just do like what Manny does and just basically walk you down. They don't cut off the ring; they just walk you down and volume you to death. And those guys, and it works for those two. It just Manny has the better footwork, for it.
Yeah, I mean, he'll turn.
Benavidez is just, it's a top half that really gets you.
Yeah, like, Manny, like, he moves, he'll show you some angle, or he'll turn his opponents around. Benavidez does none of that.
But he's not really. But the thing is, Manny's not really cutting the ring off either, though.
Right. Yeah.
It's like he's stepping to you, walking you down, in and out. Benavidez is like, step to you, then bing, 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 bing,
bing, bing, bing, bing. Yeah.
And every time he gets near you, he's making it count, because the nigga launching 4 or 5 punch combinations with mustard on them.
Yeah, all of them fucking hurt, and that's what I'm saying. Like, dude lost the fat though, but he still carries like heavyweight type power in his hands. Like,
it's like Chris Arreola. I think for like when he was still on them damn undercards, like with Floyd and shit. Like,
yeah,
when we had the fast hands.
Those were
still kind of slim.
Yeah, when Chris had something of a work rate and then didn't. It makes me sad when I actually think about the potential that guy had and what he is now. Ugh.
Yeah.
But Benavidez, like, eventually in the 11th round, the referee was like, look, bro, you're getting hit too clean, and you see Ellis was kind of protested, like, oh, like, he was good, but it's like, bro, you can't continue to get hit cleanly like that and audibly and thinking that you're gonna continue to fight, because it was get to the point where I was like, yo, like, dude might go to the hospital if he keeps taking all these punches. Like, you can't be that tough taking punishment like that. So
he was bagging them, taking all of them, hooks, everything, and
yeah,
I like what he was doing. He was countering Benavidez good early, but what ended up happening was Benavidez was timing the counters, and then Benavidez would follow with 2 and 3 afterwards. So it's like he was snapping Benavidez's head back with a jab or a right hand. Benavidez come boom boom. So it's like if you fighting a guy like Benavidez, the only straight that's going to work on Benavidez is to the body. But after you throw that and you push him back a little bit, he's going to take the step backward because he's already squared up. That's when you got to launch them overhands and them hooks, because he's ready for them straights. He just puts his gloves there. You got to wear him down with them hooks. Kind of like how Brian Jennings was fighting Vlad.
Yeah. Oh man, and if there wasn't a fight that I was like, man, that's gonna be an upset, because I remember how dumb close that fight was to me for like the first 9 rounds, and
yeah,
and then just B. White kind of either faded or I
Klitschko punches started really weighing on him then.
Yeah.
But he had the right game plan. Like these guys, they'll be in front of Benavidez, but you gotta have the right selection of punches. That's why I always said a guy like Pascal would be murder on a guy like Benavidez, and more prime Pascal. I don't want to get him ideas, and it's funny. I think Benavidez, they said they did try to fight him and Badou Jack, and they turned it down.
Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't want to see a Pascal Benavidez fight, because Pascal is, I mean, yes, he's having some sort of, he has some momentum now, but I just don't think it's the momentum that he is.
Yeah, he would still be the underdog, but he does have, he's the wrong style for Benavidez. If Pascal was 10 years younger.
Yeah, he probably would give him hell. Yeah,
he beats Benavidez, maybe even stops him. This Pascal might just go the distance.
Right. I mean, yeah, hell, I mean, if he's going to distance with Bivol and all of them, like
3 rounds that you're gonna worry about in 2 swing rounds.
He definitely gave Marcus Brown more trouble than he should have. You know, that guy.
Give him Badu Jack all he could handle.
Absolutely. So I mean, it was.
But it's the looping overhand punches. You gotta hit Benavidez with punches he doesn't see.
And he also has to, he has to make sure he actually respects your power. If he doesn't, then it's all for nothing, really. I mean, I don't think. Other than
Sam Solomon would make it work.
well, but I mean, like I said, other than Ronald Gavrell, like who's the only one to actually have some sort of effective game plan on him, like no one else has. I mean, I know Porky tried to, but Porky just got outworked and just absolutely brutally beat down.
Yeah.
Going forward on him, that so it's like, I mean,
you gotta have a basic talent skill level to work with, though.
Yeah, to some degree, I kind of think it's like similar to Tank. We know they're fundamentally both really good and talented, and especially we don't know how good they are defensively because they can walk through punches. I mean, more than the average, guy in their way, in terms of their tier. So that's one thing that kind of stands out with Benavidez. Like, I think he's, fundamentally sound defensively, but we can't really know until he's put in a real 50-50 fight. Other than
and his defense is his offense, honestly.
Yeah, he'll block and he'll take steps back, but he's not turning with those blocks. So I know if someone starts winging hooks, they'll go through those blocks. He's not. You don't see him block hooks like that.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So I just want to see somebody mix it up. Like I feel like Ronald Ellis had the stature, size, and everything enough to do it. Dude, the guy who just fought Darrell could do it. He was throwing hooks.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron Davis. Yeah, I mean that one.
Davis.
Yeah, that one was more surprising because, it upsets me because like I don't like. I mean, Anthony Darrell is supposed to be like leagues above a guy who's 9-2 with 4 knockouts, and he seemed like he had a hard time trying to figure out how to beat this kid. And I just shook my head.
But Davis came in there to fight, and
he did.
He did his thing too. So sometimes a guy a fight above their head and he calls you one problems and he's supposed to cause you. You either gut it out and win, or plot armor, or you lose.
Absolutely, and then of course now
closed it out. I felt like he should have stopped him earlier, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so now obviously the big thing with Benavidez now in terms of buzzing like who's gonna be his next opponent. The big opponent that's being named right now is Jamal Charlo. Obviously Jamal Charlo is like 168. I know in the past Jamal Charlo was like, okay, we need this catch weight and you need to take this COVID vaccine, and then afterwards maybe I'll fight you.
That sounds so stupid.
Yeah, which just sounds like nothing but cap to me. So it's just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, they were both talking that shit to each other, but I'm like, I don't see this fight happening anytime soon. I don't see Charlo. Obviously, if you're trying to make someone like, you better make everyone take a fucking COVID vaccine. If that's the fucking case, asking someone to do that. I don't see that fight coming off. And then Benavidez is in a situation where he also openly said, like, you know what? I know I have to. I know I fucked up losing my belt on the scale. So yeah, I know I have to work to actually get it back. So
you gotta earn the Canelo fight.
Yeah, he understands too. I mean, of course, it still doesn't mean that we'll probably see a Caleb Plant.
But Jamal just said he would knock Benavidez out. I just was scrolling through IG like before we got on the show. Like, I think the father reached out trying to make trying to see what's good. Like they say they seriously trying to make the fight.
I mean,
your people get in touch with my people, and we get in touch with Al.
I mean, in Caleb Plant, obviously needs a fight like this because we don't know what his broken hand is like, but
he does. But he's banking on the Canelo fight.
Yeah, and
I think Canelo people already like started negotiations with him.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be until maybe until September at the earliest. So it's gonna be unless Canelo has, it depends honestly what type of turnaround, or if it's a grueling fight, or Canelo gets knocked out by Saunders, if that happens or whatever. But yeah, Caleb Plant will have gone a good significant amount of time without a fight. So it could be like rolling the dice, but also that could be like a bad.
He'll be on time. It'll be his second fight in the year. That's how these young dudes do it now.
Yeah, and obviously, and I don't think Caleb Plant would probably never risk a Benavidez fight in the interim because that's like his. It's good. We all. As much as we all know it's gonna be a hard fight for him. Benavidez is not like pushover. Caleb Plant, he moves around. His power is not Benavidez' power, so it would be a hard fight for him.
Yeah.
So Benavidez.
Caleb Plant, that's a winnable fight for him for Benavidez because Caleb Plant footwork is like leagues above Benavidez.
Right. But his stamina is not. That's the important thing. Caleb Plant can be worn down by work rate. His stamina. So
his stamina is good enough, man.
Yeah,
it could be better. It could be
very spotty.
It could be better.
If there's one weakness that guy has is his stamina. He gasses. He definitely gassed in that Truex fight, early, I think.
He looked. Yeah, he on the last. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I think people kind of overboard on the Ukateki fight, but the Truex fight, I felt like he started kind of tapering around I think the 6th round.
Yeah, and there's one of those things where, and because he hadn't fought in a while too, so it's like all this inactivity is even if you want to say a Benavidez fight, he should probably fight sooner than later. But like I said, his belt is the only bargaining chip for a Canelo fight, so it's gonna be you got to.
Yeah, I think he's been spoiling on the vine. Honestly, if we keep it real, Benavidez looked better this time than he did last time out.
He did.
The combinations were more fluid. The punches were snappier. And I think the opponent he had last time was better.
Yeah, it was a lot tougher too. Benavidez just needs to have these type of stuff. He keeps getting more wins like this. Obviously, it definitely have a big fight. So yeah, so it's gonna be but it's gonna be interesting to see what fight they're gonna get him in the interim. Because unless somebody else comes up or PBC's wants to
give him a Gabe Rosado.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, no. God, no. I hope to God.
What about Jacobs?
Yeah, I'd say Jacobs would be. If Charlo's not gonna move up and fight him, that'd be either guy. Then yeah, Jacobs Benavidez would be cool.
But Jacobs though is a wild card because Jacobs obviously. he moves how he moves now. He got paid. He got the fights he wanted, and he kind of half-asses things now.
For a tough fight. The man ain't have a real fight since the Canelo fight.
Yeah,
that Rosado fight was embarrassing. God damn.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I actually said, yeah. If I was ever embarrassed to say I had a DAZN subscription, it'll be because of that fight. It was Jesus, I paid $9.99 to watch this bullshit.
Yeah. That was a Friday night fight.
Yeah, that was a Friday night. I could have rewatched an old fight. That was. Yeah, but Jacobs though, it's he moves because he's got plenty of money now, and it's okay. And I think he fulfilled his Eddie deal, so I can come back to PBC, whatever. He hasn't fought on PBC since 2000.
Somebody has to call him out and start I don't know, man. Boxers are funny now. After the Rosado fight, people should have been just chomping at the bit for Jacobs fight.
No one is calling him out. No one.
Everybody just kind of collectively said, you know what? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's like no one wants to
If
say
anybody else had that fight and had that performance Jacobs had, you would never hear the end of it.
right. And like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they all know these deals. Like, so I'd be like, either you call him out, or Jacobs is like, or Eddie comes up to him and is like, hey mate, I got this, I got this deal for you. You can fight Saunders or whatever, and he signs on for Eddie for another couple of fights, and then niggas is like, oh damn it, he's why didn't he pick
Caleb
PBC?
Smith going to light heavyweight?
Yeah.
That fight's out the question, but Jacob still got some other people we ain't even, what happened to the Ryder fight? Like, we haven't even got that level of fight.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Rosado, come on, what we gonna get now? Ryder Rosado?
yeah, and I mean, honestly, if Benavidez first faced Ryder, I'd be up for it. Like, make that fight. Ryder deserves a big fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yes, so like Benavidez has a whole bunch of options. Whatever, it's just gonna be more or less like how they're gonna move him, or how quickly they're, how quick. Because right now, obviously, super middleweight is pretty preoccupied now with Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders right now, and unless the WBA wants to go make a GameStop belt for him, or WBC wants to do a GameStop belt or whatever, so it's gonna be interesting. Let's see how Benavidez. But I mean, Benavidez, at least, like I said, I mean, he's back on the scene. He got the type of victory that he needed, so that's a good deal. That's all we could ask for. No real struggle, and he beat his opponent down. So yeah, like I said, overall the Showtime card was, it was decent. Like I said, as long as Gashaw gets a knockout win, I can't call it a bad card. I can't. So that's pretty much, I think, our Showtime recap.